All right, so I'm gonna talk about my jump shot here. Should I put this thing right here? Probably works. And a philosophy I've been thinking about. So the other day, I played and I shot really poorly. You might have seen it on Instagram. And this happened in college. I mean, everyone misses shots, whatever. There's a big question as to whether or not you should try, or something wrong. Like, do you need to get a better shot? Did you just miss shots? Or something mechanically amiss? So originally I used to think about it like this. I used to be like, oh, I need to make my jump shot better, like build it. And just as of recent, I've kind of thought about that a little bit differently, because the issue with that philosophy is like, well, I was already shooting a whole bunch and that didn't work. So just somehow doing more going to be the answer. And I don't think that's the case. Now that I'm older, I used to think that. I think the reality is, it's more about not losing the things that make your jump shot good. So for example, missed that one. For me, I have worked on getting a higher release point. So in theory, I could shoot a ball like this, like from my shoulder, or I could shoot it really high. But there's one release point that typically works best for me. It's like right here, and especially if I get under the ball. So I get under the shot. If I try too hard to make that one, I miss it. If I do that, then I can get a lift into my jump shot, which makes the follow through more about guiding it and less about pushing it. So what happens is if I miss it, try to do it on that one. Well, kind of. You like push it versus it lifting. So kind of a push, and we'll get a lift. See how much arc there is different than that one? So, those common mistakes, the reality is you gotta figure out why you lose those mistakes or why those mistakes happen. For me, it's getting under the ball. So if I'm not actually worried about my shot, my setup is what allows my shot to be a shot. And so instead of thinking about I gotta build my shot better, my shot is already there. I just gotta get the base set up so I can, let the shot go through. It's normal. Let the shot be expressed fully. And so there's obvious simple things you can do, which is like, just shoot and make it. But that's not really difficult. Instead, I want to stress some things like body position and then working back under to that ball. So for me, I'm a hop step shooter and I like to drop and set. So the earlier I get my hands up before my feet hit, the better the shot will be. Especially if I don't try and make it for the camera. There you go. What I get a mistake with though, if I'm lazy with my hands, I'm late, they'll go like this. You kind of get this like rocking motion, and didn't try to airball that, but I guess it's good for the camera. And I won't get my legs under it, so I'll end up having to push the ball. I can still make it like that, but I typically flatten out my shot versus getting under it. So I gotta fight to get under the shot and lift it to the hoop. So if you know your shot, and you have a bad shooting situation, you can work on it. And you can work on drills that challenge that ability. So you can work on getting your feet off balance, then dropping under it. Pretty straightforward.